My name is Nicole Birdie, and I will be demonstrating the strategy of rounding decimals using a number line. The purpose of this strategy is to help students understand how we round decimals. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to round our numbers, our decimals, but we're using a number line to do it. Okay, instead of just knowing, well, if the number to the right is 5 or greater, you round up. If it's 4 or less, well, the number rounds down, but that actual number will stay the same. We're going to use a number line to explain the why and truly be able to see that. Our first number is, somebody raise your hand and tell me, how do I say this number correctly? How do I say that number correctly? Kai?
4 and 67 hundredths.
Hundredths, very good. 4 and 67 hundredths. So when I want to do this, and I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, you can underline my tenth place value, and I'm thinking, well, is it going to become 4 and 6 tenths? Oh, this isn't. Well, let's see here. 4 and 6 tenths, or 4 and 7 tenths. That's what I'm really determining, right? So on my number line, I've got them on either side. I'm going to add ticks inside this number line so I can place my decimal. Thank you. Is that easier to see?
Yes.
Oh, so much easier to see. Okay, for me, I like to start right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is actually going to be 5, but it's 65 hundredths. Okay, and I'm going to divide it into 4 more sections. So 4.6.
Drace Taylor, would you come to the office, please? Drace Taylor, would you come to the office, please?
4 and 63 hundredths, 4 and 64 hundredths, and we have our 4 and 65, right? Same thing. Okay, so let's plot our decimal. What's our actual decimal? 4 and 67? Hundredths. Which one, if this is our halfway spot, and this is the decimal we're looking at, is our decimal closer to 4 and 6 tenths or 4 and 7 tenths? 4 and 7 tenths. And so when looking at a number line, you can see why it gets rounded up. Because if it's anything at that 5 or greater, we round up because it's going to be on that half of the number line. Here's our decimal. 7 and 1 tenths, 7 and 2 tenths. In the middle is 7 and 15 hundredths. This is our middle. Here's the decimal. Is it going to round to 7 and 1 tenths or 7 and 2 tenths?
7 and 2 tenths.
Somebody, can you explain why it's going to go to 7 and 2 tenths? What are we talking about with our number line that would explain why it would go to 7 and 2 tenths, not 7 and 1 tenths? Chloe?
7 and 19 hundredths is bigger than 7 and 15 hundredths.
Okay, so it is larger than that, and that is why. Okay. Can anybody explain it differently? Chloe is right. Could anybody explain it differently than that? Kelton?
Because it's past the halfway mark, so if it's on the right side of the halfway mark, you're gonna go to the round up, and if it's to the left of the middle, it would stay the same.
Right.
I agree.